What time is it, Cookie? 2.
Quarter.
Just gone quarter. 2 o'clock might be better, you know, and then.
Yeah, come on. Friday next week. Which Sunday game?
Yeah, 2 o'clock. Do 2 o'clock.
Already in the bag. 4 thumbs up. Go on then, Nick.
Paul, good news regarding Tom Davies. More competition for places. What's the match sharpness like? Does he come into your thoughts for Friday?
Matt Sharpness, well, he's not been training anyway. He's been keeping himself fit, but in terms of training with bodies in a group, it's his first day today. So I'm expecting him to be a little bit stiff tomorrow. But yeah, I think he's in our thoughts without a doubt. But we just have to make sure that long term and week by week we're getting him fitter and fitter. And if that schedule or that plan gets adjusted based on him getting minutes for the first team, then we'll adjust it. Yeah, because we've started the season, we've not got that luxury, you know. So in and around him getting minutes, we need to be exposing him to other types of football, fitness work to make sure we get him up to speed as quick as possible.
Another body through the door. I think by your own admission, you've said you still need reinforcements. Is that still the case before the window closes?
Yeah,
you expect to still be busy? Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, I think, like I said, I've said many times, I think it'll go to that final week, final days possibly. I hope it doesn't. But we're prepared as a group, as a staff, for it to do that. But yeah, I'd like it to be done and dusted in the next few days. But I'm also realistic enough to know that's probably not going to happen.
And of some of the players you were hoping to get back into training this week, Paul, has that been the case? The likes of Ollie McBurney, Rhian Brewster as well. How close are they? Is there an update on the other players you were expecting back?
Listen, Rhian's progressing, but we're not considering him for minutes yet in terms of the first team because of the length of time he's had out. We're just taking his time with him. Ollie's back in training, but yeah, and for consideration, however, again, he's missed the bulk of the football over pre-season, so he's another one who we need to get up to speed, as is Vinny Souza. Obviously Gus is a little bit different because he did get exposed to some minutes at Coventry and then the first couple of games, so he's a bit further on than the other boys.
Can I just continue with the injuries theme for a tick, Paul, if I may? Baldock and Lowe had issues after the game the other day. What's the latest right now?
Yeah, okay, so a bit of fatigue, obviously. Lowe is carrying a little ankle injury as well, which we knew about, didn't we, when we did it on a sprinkler at Derby. But it was a cramp, what he came off with the other day, so yeah, he's fine.
Everybody else all right?
Yeah, fine. I said 1 or 2 back in, Ollie this week, so yeah, and hopefully we'll have Jaden back with us soon enough as well. So yeah, bit by bit, like I said, we just get stronger, whether that's injuries returning and bodies through the door as well.
How much of a challenge has it been to integrate all these new players then recently? I mean, over the last 6 weeks, to get them to a place where they're getting up to speed right now?
Yeah, it's been different. We've had some boys who've been in the building a while and have been away with us in Portugal. Obviously Benny we signed, then he had to go away and get his visa, so he's been a little bit behind, but at least he's had some training days with us. And then we've got the rest of the lads who have sort of arrived after the season started, so yeah, we're not going to get all that time to do all the bonding stuff you get away from here, so we'll just be in and around this place, we do things like that, and then, as I say, they'll be getting a lot of the fitness in first team minutes.
Harmer, how do you see him fitting in and being deployed into this group of players?
Well, he's made good impression straight away in terms of his personality. They all have, the boys have. I think we've recruited some good character into the squad, which is always important. We've signed him because of how he's been playing the last few seasons, so we want to see the same. He is all action, he loves to get on the ball, he's an energetic player. And he's fearless in that final third as well. He's got a lot of his assists from set plays, he's got good delivery, but he's got a lot of his goals either from distance or arriving in the box. So yeah, we signed him for the things that he is doing, which we like. We want to push him on getting in the box more to score more goals. He wants to do that as well. Yeah, so we're pleased with that.
Tom Davies, how long has this been an option for you, or he been an option for you?
Yes, I first spoke with Tom long time ago. So he's always been there. He's sort of been hanging on, wanting to come and play for us, which has been good. Yeah, but as I said, we've had our issues. But he's been patient enough to wait, and this weekend, like I said, we could push the button on a couple, and yeah, we're glad to get that done.
How much do you find a player keen to get his career back on track? Because I realise this happens quite a bit, but as a very young player, he was the highest of highs, and it's sort of dipped since then.
Yeah, I think, and that tends to happen a lot. Young players who've come through at a club, because no matter what happens, we try not to have that mindset here. But certainly, especially if a club's turning over managers, or there's lots of different managers, homegrown players or younger players in that squad they always seem to be treated a certain way. And I don't know. I've not been in and around Everton, and I've not spoken to Tom about this. This is just my impression. But you can almost be the one that gets sacrificed. You can almost be the one that's always thought of as beneath, and then that begins to affect lots of things. So Tom was keen for a fresh start, regardless of the opportunity to stay at Everton. He was keen for a fresh start, and after we spoke, there's been other options, but he's been holding on for in the hope that we could get something done, and we've been able to do that. So yeah, we know we've got a hungry player. From our point of view, we've got a player who's played all his minutes in the Premier League, which is a bonus for us. So, no occasion, no venue, no team is going to faze him, because that's the only thing he knows. But from our point of view, he's really hungry to experience something new, to learn a different way of playing. And he's been really excited about it. Yeah,
that's the flip side, isn't it, of Tom's career. Waned to whatever extent. He's still got 155 Premier League appearances under his belt, which must be massive for this squad. Yeah,
like I say, he's got a lot of experience for his age, but it's in the league where we are now, at the level that we're at. And like I said, we've got a lot of excited people, a lot of people who are going to be playing on adrenaline and enthusiasm to help us try and achieve points and pick up points. But we've recruited a player there who we almost know the occasion is not going to affect him at all, and he's got a different driver. It's not an excitement, it's an excitement about being at a new club rather than the league. He knows the league, and it's a determination to do well and improve that's driving him in this league, not just the league itself.
3-year deal, that's quite the commitment, isn't it, for both of you?
Yeah, well, he likes the fact that Sheffield United, what we presented, the club, he knows the club, he's played here before. He knows the club, he knows the stadium, he knows the area. And then he understood what we showed him in terms of how we want to play, how we see him as a player, and where we would like to work with him, what we like about him that can add to our squad right straight away, and what we think we can add to him to help him improve. So he was really keen. And then from our point of view, if we're doing that work, we want to get the benefit of the player.
When you spoke to us on Saturday after the match, you were hoping for a couple of signings this week, obviously Tom being one. How likely is it between now and the Forest match that Sheffield United can add to the squad?
Yeah, I was hoping that we would. Still hopeful. Yeah, it's only 2 days now, so who knows, But yeah, the work's not going to stop regardless when the fixtures are. We have to just do it as quick as we possibly can and get working with the players. So yeah, the work's not going to stop. But likewise, our planning and preparation for Forest can't stop just in the hope that we get someone. So yeah, it's the work behind the scenes will continue, but in here now our focus is just on Forest.
Presumably, I mean, even if they were to sign as soon as you walk out the door, they're not going to be involved on Friday anyway.
Well, it depends what they've been exposed to pre-season. Have they been playing games, so there are lots of things that can come into it.
There's been a lot of talk about Cameron Archer. Can you shed any light on that as to where any attempts to bring him in are?
You know my answer, don't you? It's not our player, Villa's. In terms of him as a player, know all about him. He obviously scored against us last season. Yeah, saw him play at Preston as well. Know all about him.
And, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, with regards to loan signings now, particularly ones that have been often discussed this summer, I mean, given how the fixtures are going to fall, presumably nothing is going to happen with them until relatively late in the window.
Yeah, well, that's what we sort of prepared for. If the even international loans, but Certainly domestic ones, we know we're only allowed 2. International ones, we can get a lot more. But the fact we're in the Premier League, the fact that we've got good players in the building and we want to improve on that, means we want the best possible loans. The fact we're looking at the top end of the pitch now, or more likely to the top end of the pitch, people are reluctant to let those players go. We're looking for a good calibre of player, so they're going to be in people's squads until they're released, whenever that may be. So, we've resigned to the fact that it was probably going to look this way anyway.
2 final points from me. What do you want to see as an improvement in between Palace and Forest?
Well, lots of things. So we want to have a better balance to the team. We've recruited, so training's been better, like I say, since the new boys have come in terms of the character, the quality. It would have been great to have had that from the start and have a match ready now and be going into the game really attacking the games and expecting us to put in the performances that we're capable of. We know that's compromised slightly, but we still want the performances to help us win games and pick up the points. So better balance to the team. We want the same energy, we want the same work rate. We need more of a threat at the top end of the pitch, without a doubt. But that's not just coming from the players at the top end of the pitch. That's in how we keep the ball, where we can win the ball back, and how we can manage that side of the game as well. I thought we managed the game pretty well when Palace had the ball, but not as well when we had it.
You described that match as a missed opportunity. How much is facing Forest then a great opportunity to maybe get some points on the board?
We approach every game like that. Every game. And we can't be worried now about a game's gone. It's always the next game, the next game, the next game. And we're doing all our work with the players, whether that's fitness, whether that's bedding them into the group, or the tactical work that we're doing with them. We know we're doing it in amongst the fixtures, which is not ideal, but it's certainly a lot better than last season when we were playing every Saturday, Tuesday, So we have got that little bit more time, and we are using it. It's just flat out work and reflection on what they're taking in, what do they still need, and then work again, and it'll be that throughout the season anyway.
Lovely, thank you.
Hi Paul. Can you talk a little bit more about what qualities Tom Davies brings to the side over and above the experience of being in the Premier League, and do you see him as some kind of replacement for Sander Bergen?
No, we're not replacing Sander, not replacing Illivan. We're just trying to bring in good players. When Tom's fit, we're expecting to have a physically really good player in terms of being able to impact Premier League games with his physicality, with his energy, with his work rate. We know how we want to play as a team, and we believe that we can use that physicality and energy to be really effective for us when we've got the ball and when we've not got the ball, which is important. And like I said, there's areas of his game which we think we'd love to push him on and improve him on. One would be goal scoring, one would be arriving in the box and joining in at the top end of the pitch. I think he's certainly got the discipline if we play him in a 1 or a 2-man midfield to do the defensive duties and break up play. But we want to push him and add little bits to his game as well.
Going to Forest will provide memories of the playoff. How much edge does it add to the game, and how important is discipline and not getting carried away with the occasion for your players?
Well, I think discipline now across the football league, but especially in the Premier League, what we saw last weekend is key. We can't afford to pick up cheap bookings. We spoke about that as a group, and players, we know we're going to get some. We're seeing them all the time, but the discipline of the players was good the other day in terms of the new rules, and any infringements were very good, and that's key. In terms of Forest and the atmosphere, it's their first home game anyway, so I'm looking forward to the atmosphere. I think it's going to be certainly noisy, electric. They'll be right behind their team, but we performed unbelievably well when we went there last time, and we're looking to try and repeat that.
It's just is the key that then I think solely after the get at the game of Forest in that Wales and on that fake whether you were in straight back in.
Not at all, no. I think, like I said, I think that's for you guys to write about. There's only be you guys bringing that up. But in terms of us, and this is the thing, I think when it's your job and everything, part of the reason all the trouble happened is because people forget it's a job. We're performing on the pitch, we're doing our job, we're disciplined by the referee, we're bound by our rules. everything that happened there was for the police to deal with, you know. Yeah, so we're just doing our job. It's football, so we're just preparing to play that. Like, the atmosphere will be great because it's their first home game. The atmosphere will be great because we've had a bit of some good battles on the pitch previous, but that's it. Everything off the pitch it's not even mentioned. It shouldn't be mentioned.
Yeah, eventually you'd like more signings. Have you got an idea of how many you would like between now and then?
Yeah. No.
Have all good stuff?